They crossed into Missouri just outside Joplin, the landscape growing marginally greener, though no less desolate. That's when they heard the screams. They weren't the guttural, mindless shrieks of the dead, but the high, terrified cries of the living. Bobo slowed the half-track, peering out intensely. Up ahead, pulled off onto a gravel shoulder, was a beat-up sedan, its doors flung open. 7 men, dressed in rags and leather, surrounded 3 smaller figures. 2 young women, no older than 20, were being held down by 4 of the raiders. A 5th held a small boy, maybe 10 years old, a rusty blade held loosely near his throat. The boy kicked and struggled uselessly. "Stop here," Tippy commanded, her voice turning to ice. The motherly kindness she'd shown in the Flying J settlement was gone, replaced by a cold, precise fury. Bobo brought the honk wagon to a halt. The sudden silence was punctuated by the raiders' cruel laughter and the women's desperate pleas. 2 of the raiders began tearing at the women's clothes. One of them, a lanky man with a greasy ponytail, unbuckled his belt and let his pants drop to his ankles. Tippy didn't say a word. She rested the barrel of her rifle on the edge of the gunner's mount. Her left eye narrowed to a slit. She breathed out slowly. The world shrunk to the space between her front sight and the man with the ponytail. "Disgusting pig," she muttered quietly and angrily as she pulled the trigger. Crack. The sound was sharp, almost surgical. The man's head exploded into a pink mist, showering his would-be victim in blood and brains. She screamed, a raw sound of horror and shock. Before the other raiders could process what happened, Tippy adjusted her aim. Crack! The second man, who had been fumbling with his belt, yelped. He grabbed his rear end, a dark stain spreading across his trousers. He hopped around in a pained, ridiculous circle. Chaos erupted. The raiders scrambled, fumbling for weapons and looking wildly for the source of the attack. That was Bobo's cue. He slammed his big red boot on the ignition. The half-track's engine roared to life with a sound like a waking dragon. He threw it in gear and burst forwards. The painted clown's smile on the front grille, looking like the maw of some metallic monster. 4 of the raiders fled into the woods. The one holding the boy shoved him to the ground and ran after them. The butt-shot man did the single, dumbest possible thing he could. He drew a rusted old revolver from his shirt and hobbled towards the honk wagon, firing wildly in a pathetic charge. Bobo didn't slow down. There was a series of sickening thuds and a single scream as the man's body was crushed to a bloody pulp under the wagon's tires and treads. Bobo brought the vehicle to a stop just feet from the terrified family. The 2 women had scrambled to their feet, pulling their torn clothes together. They huddled around the boy. Bobo and Tippy got out of the car, their weapons in hand, but not at the ready. When the family saw Bobo and Tippy approaching, their expressions shifted from relief to sheer, unadulterated fear. They looked from the bloody scene to the 2 painted figures and back again, as if expecting the nightmare to continue. "Fine day, isn't it?" Bobo said, a big smile on his face, trying to relieve the tension. "It's okay," Tippy said, her voice soft again. She kept her distance, not wanting to spook them further. "You're safe now. What air you?" One of the women asked, clutching her younger brother to her side. "We're the circus," Bobo said simply.